That's in, and I think I'm good. Oh, the lighting ain't too bad. I'm a little shiny. Not too bad though. Not too bad. Hello everyone. Happy belated Christmas. Happy belated Christmas, everyone. I hope you all had a blessed holiday. I'm trying to get some work done today, so here I am. My intention is to be with you today, tomorrow, and maybe on Sunday, maybe not until Monday, but we'll see how that goes. So I have not done a live session in quite some time where I was teaching a lesson, and I'm excited to do that today. Today I'm going to talk to you about leaps of faith. But I have a couple of announcements. Let me just do one quick thing real quick on my computer. How was everyone's holiday? So y'all can let me know when I'm getting set up. How was your holiday? Did you have a quiet Christmas? Were you with family? Were you traveling? What were you doing for the holiday season? And while you type that in, I'm going to do one quick thing. Quiet with family, says Angela. What about everyone else? Hello, LaKoya. Hello, Bo. Hello, Cynthia. Carisha. Hello, everybody. White, purple, butterfly. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday to you. This thing is just wobbly, wobbly, wobbly. Happy Friday to everyone. She don't know why it's so wobbly. It's not supposed to be. Okay. Number one, the fast. So we are having the quarterly global fast, which is a Daniel fast. So it's going to be 21 days. It's only for future kingdom wives, so women of God who desire to be married. You're invited only. It's a safe space for us to fast and come together in agreement. That fast is starting on Monday. So if you have not signed up, as soon as you sign up, you get all the details for the fast and all your questions. So a lot of people will say, I don't know how to fast properly. I never fasted before. I haven't fasted successfully. I've tried to fast in the past and I have not gotten results. Can you help me? You have 1,000,001 questions about the eating, about how to properly fast. I give you everything. One thing about me, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarita A. Foxworth. I'm an author and I'm a Christian love and life coach. And with that being said, one thing that I do as a teacher and as a coach is I give you all the information that I can give you so that you can have a successful time whenever you're working with me in real life outside of Instagram. And so when you fast with me, I give you everything. I give you all the resources that you need to fast. I have a faith-based fasting planner that you can purchase and download, and that will walk you through organizing your fast, your prayer time, your worship time, your study time, your meals even. And the reason I did it as a digital download is because every time you are fasting, you can go and download it, and you can use the planner for every subsequent fast it is that you want to do. Additionally, the thing that makes this fast very unique is that it includes prayer calls. So we'll be meeting weekly on a prayer call where I'll be praying for you. Depending on how many people show up to the call will depend on if I open up the lines. But usually I open up the lines at the end, and then I'm able to take personal prayer requests for you during the fast. Also, I have resources. So I have free resources, meaning I have created videos where I teach you how to fast effectively and get results. There's a whole fasting forum, and we've been doing this fast. This is going on the 2nd year, and it's a quarterly fast. So every time I do it, the forum is there with all the questions, the comments, and the group discussions, which means many of the questions that you have, somebody else has already asked, and it's already been answered. So you can go to the forum, and you can read all the group discussions. You can see what are the answers to most of the common questions that you all have when we're fasting and praying. And my hair looks weird. It's neat, but it looks weird from the position that I'm in. But anyway. So, most importantly, you can connect with other women in the fast. Okay, because it's a forum. So you have an opportunity to talk to, engage with, encourage, pray with, pray for, and then receive that back as well in the fasting forum. And it's a global fast, so there's women all over the world that are participating, and we'll all be fasting together for the month of January so that we can really just launch our year off in the presence of the Father, hearing from Him clearly, getting much needed answers, getting much needed direction and clarity. And yeah. So if you want to sign up for the fast, and it's very powerful, go to the link in my bio and enter your email address and your name. And as soon as you do that, you will get an email that gives you all the information that I just said. The only thing that's not there right now is the prayer calls, because I need to schedule them. And I have not yet scheduled when we're going to have our actual prayer calls. So, okay, second announcement. I'm having a 48-hour ebook blitz. This time we are going to do the Single Woman's Prayer Book. So some of you know, some of you may not. I've written 8 books, 8. Published, self-published, 8 books. All of them are on Amazon, but I also sell them. You can get them direct from me. Now, the good thing about getting them direct from me is that I can do things like give you a heavy discount, and then I also do free gifts and giveaways when I have my official bookstore reopened. So because some of y'all know I have transitioned and I'm no longer in Virginia, I am now in Atlanta, which I'm going to talk about today. The official bookstore is not open yet. However, you can get my ebooks. And I'm doing a 48-hour ebook blitz for the Single Woman's Prayer Book. The Single Woman's Prayer Book is my best-selling book. Dang. I wish I had a copy of it for you, but all my books are still in boxes. So, how can I pull it up? I'll pull it up on my phone real quick, and I'll show you what it looks like. Come on. What's happening here? All right, let me show you real quick. Go to the link in my bio, and it's going to say the Single Woman's Prayer Book 48-Hour Blitz. That ebook is on sale right now for $2.99, now through Sunday. So that's my best-selling book. Like I said, I know that I'm going to sell a lot of those. And the reason I'm doing this for a very strategic reason, so let me tell you why. Here's the book right here. The Single Woman's Prayer Book, How to Get Answers from Heaven. You see, it's on sale for $2.99. It's usually $11 for the ebook. On Amazon, it's $11 for the ebook. But for right now, when you go to the link in my bio and you come directly to my book boutique, you can get it for $2.99. Now, let me tell you why. Because the third announcement is that I'm opening the door to the 6-week group coaching. And I wanted to be able to give you an opportunity to see how I teach. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can get familiar with Sarita A. Foxworth beyond just a post that you read on Instagram, so that you will know, number 1, that I know what I'm talking about, number 2, that I can get you results, and number 3, that everything that I say and teach is based on the Word of God, and it is Spirit-led. And then you can see if you just like me. Yeah, I mean, you can make sure that you like my personality. You can see that I can get you results. You can go to my YouTube page. The link for that is in my bio. And I have a bunch of videos that you can watch on various topics concerning purpose, singleness, and prayer. Those are the only 3 things that I focus on, okay? Wife prep, singleness, prayer, and life purpose. And then you can get my books. And so I'm doing this booklet so that you can get the Single Woman's Prayer Book, which is my bestseller, and you can start. So it's a coaching book. The Single Woman's Prayer Book is a book where I walk you through creating a prayer life where it is effective and you actually can hear from the Father. I also walk you through a bunch of other things like receiving the baptism of the Holy Spirit with the evidence of praying in tongues. I've gotten a lot of testimonies of people that have read the book and got filled with the Holy Ghost and prayed in tongues. I have prayers in the back of the book that you can pray over the life of your future husband and over yourself. So it's really a good book, and it's a coaching book. And I give you steps to take so that you can start to see results in your prayer life and hearing from God. So I want you to, if you are new to me, you never worked with me before, I would like for you to go and download, because it's only $2.99. Go to the link in my bio that says The Single Woman's Prayer Book 48-Hour Blitz. Get the ebook. And then as you're flipping through those pages and the pages are blessing your life, because they will, then I want you to come back and highly consider joining me for the 6-week group coaching program. Now, some of you are not new to me and you have been waiting for an opportunity to work with me. I have had this program several times at this point. The last time I had it, I did it as a tier level coaching program. So if you were in tier 2, you already took this. But for those of you who have never had a chance to work with me, this is your opportunity. This is not something that I have ongoing. So I open the doors here and there throughout the year as I am led. And I'm really feeling like the Lord may want me to open the doors so that, number one, we'll be fasting and praying in January, and we'll be working together in a coaching program in January. So your 2020 is going to look drastically different than your 2019 for the better. Because number one, you will be starting it in the presence of God. And then number two, when you join the 6-week group coaching program, you'll be working with a professional life coach, a Christian life coach. Very important I say that. And I'll be helping you to move forward and get results in multiple areas of your life. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk about leaps of faith in just a minute. Because I'm really excited to share with y'all on today. Let me tell you what the 6-week group coaching program. Go to the link in my bio and see how much it is. And the reason I say that is because I'm going to put this video on YouTube, and the price might change by the time somebody else is watching it. So you have to go to the link in my bio and see how much it is. All right. So we start on January 6th. We work together for 6 full weeks. It is a packed program. This program is so packed that a lot of people will take it, and if you don't stay on top of it, you will fall a little bit behind. But I would prefer it to be that way, because I would rather give you more than enough than to give you too little. So I'd rather give you too much coaching information and teaching, and you be like, man, this is a lot of material. Good. Because then you can like work your way through it. You can leave it and come back to it. You can go through it at your own pace. I like that. So I'd rather that be the case than you to sign up and be like, man, she ain't really saying nothing. You would never sign up nothing with me. And go open the refrigerator and get your cup. You would never sign up for nothing with me and say, Sarita didn't give me nothing. I always give you a lot. Matter of fact, for those of you who have already taken this 6-week group coaching program, whether it was this year or the year before last, can you just let the people know one thing that you really liked about the program? Let them know one thing that you enjoyed the most, that you took away. Even if you're in tier number 2 right now, tier 2 coaching, because we are at the very end of that, actually. This tier 2 coaching ends at the end of this week. Let us know a little bit about that program and what you liked about it, how it has blessed you, and why some of the people who have not signed up should sign up. So let us know. Okay, so let me just tell you, and then I'm going to get into the topic at hand. Here's what we focus on. The first 2 weeks, we focus on growing in your relationship with God. So if you've been stuck growing with God, for 2 weeks, we're going to focus on who you are and who God is. There's going to be a singleness makeover. Oh, a lot of you have contacted me about breaking soul ties. And in this program, I'm going to walk you through breaking free from a soul tie during week number either 3 or week number 4. I can't remember. But I'm going to go into breaking soul ties. And then I'm going to help you to have a very, very blessed season while you are waiting to be found by your husband, so that you're not stressed out, you're not overwhelmed, you're not lonely, you're not depressed, you're not anxious. We're going to get rid of all of those things during the singleness makeover portion of the class. All right, the program. There's also going to be confidence coaching, and I'm going to round it out with life purpose and manifesting money. So this is a very comprehensive, a very well-rounded coaching program. We don't just focus on one thing. We focus on a myriad of things. And then that way, like I said, you can work through it. You're supposed to work through it during the 6 weeks because I'm going to have live sessions where I'm with you as well. But it covers a different topics because I know everyone's at different places. And these are the main topics that people would ask me for help with. So I created a program where I address each of these areas. I created a program where I address... Go use the potty. Go ahead. No, turn the light on. You can do it. You're a big boy. Every time he get up to go use the bathroom, he gets up to go get a drink. He opens the refrigerator door. He realizes he has to pee. Refrigerator door is wide open. He's running to the bathroom. This is a cycle. Next time he say I'm thirsty, I'm going to say go use the bathroom first. Is nobody here? Nobody is here from any of my coaching programs. Now, I do see a lot of new people in here. But I know at least one person is in here from my program. Let me see. Because I'm about to call somebody out. Let me see. No. I actually don't see anybody. Except for Janelle. Janelle, was you? Yeah, Janelle. Janelle, are you still here? Let the people know. Janelle was in tier 2, which is the same thing as 6-week group coaching. Who else do I see? Carol was in it a while ago. So Carol, if you can remember, because Carol has taken several programs with me at this point. And Carol is in South Africa, which I love because I can help you no matter where you are in the world. LaCoya was in it as well. Let me see. And Angela. Angela also was in it. Angela, can you let the people know? Bo was in it. I'm calling y'all out because I need y'all to give me y'all feedback. Now, one thing I have learned is that a lot of you do not like to send email testimonies.
Mommy,
you have to be good all day. The day is not over yet, little boy. You can't finish eat. Look, you got a bowl full of food. Get your milk and keep being a good boy, and you can have it later. You need to finish eating though. You haven't eaten none of your food. You see your orange cup? Be careful. Hold the bottom of it with your hand. Hold the bottom. Close the refrigerator door. Slowly. Close the door slowly. Close it. Come on. Close it on. Keep going. Don't slam it. Slow. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Now come finish eating. No. Janelle was not paying attention. Janelle. Oh, good. Okay. She said tier 2 was the best investment. Move from God. Doors open wide open. Spoken tongues. Perfect. He's 3. He's the 3-year-old love of my life. Treasure's Heart. Did you see that? Because I know you're interested, and I want you to just see what some people have said. But there's a lot of people. Most of the people here are new. I haven't seen any of these people before. But I actually have not went live in a long time either. Okay. So I'll ask again later on, and then maybe some more people will join later who have actually been in one of my programs because I know that it's a work day too, and it's right in the middle of the afternoon. Most of my clients are working. Not that you guys ain't working, but they are like busy at work. They'll probably be watching the replay. Okay, so 6-week group coaching. Go to the link in my bio. You can read all the details about it, what we're going to cover. You can see the price, and you can sign up, and you can make payments if you want. There's also testimonies on the page. So the same page that you sign up, there are testimonies, and these testimonies are from women that I worked with last year. Okay, now moving on, let's talk about, was there anything else I want to say? I just want to talk about group coaching, Single Woman's Prayer Book, and the fast. That was it. Thank you, Angela, for that. Tier 2 has been really good. Manifest the money session now. Confirmed a lot that I already knew. Dealing with and new. Good. Thank you for your feedback. Yes, get the book, Social Butterfly. Okay. The book will bless you. Let me also say this. When you get the book, you are going to get a confirmation email from sales, SELZ.com, from Love and Miracles Boutique. In that email, you are going to see your purchase. Click on the item name, which is the name of the book, and you can download it. That's how that works. So, all right, just so everybody knows. Like, I bought the book. Where is it? It's in the email. The confirmation email that you got, click the name of the book, and you can immediately download it. Okay, now I'm excited because I see a lot of people who have signed up for the fast that are introducing themselves. Now, if you signed up for the fast, please go and introduce yourself. Let us know where you are, and then let us know what you're standing in faith for. Now, I'll just leave it there. Let's talk about leaps of faith. One of the things that we're going over in the Prophetic Woman group coaching program was boldness and radical obedience. And being obedient to God is going to be required when you're making leaps of faith. But when you're making leaps of faith, sometimes it will be scary. God is going to call you to do things that are unconventional, that are uncommon. You're going to feel like you're literally stepping out of the boat. But that is what having a leap of faith actually is. However, leaps of faith can be something major. So my leap of faith, right, because I lead by example. My leap of faith is that the Lord, first of all, a lot of y'all know, if you watch older videos, you'll hear me mention Atlanta. You'll hear me talk about Atlanta, how I loved it, how I can't wait to get back. You'll hear me saying that even in an old video. Like if you're watching a video from 2017, you'll hear me saying stuff like, I can't wait to get back to Atlanta. I loved it there, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm literally here. However, the Lord had been talking to me about Atlanta. Let me just show you. So I'm going to walk you through what it looks like when you're taking a leap of faith. And then I want to show you how it actually looks. It looks very, very blessed. So it can seem scary and intimidating, but it is extremely blessed once you actually move forward with the instruction it is that God has given you. You cannot fail is the most important thing that you want to remember. So in my phone, I document whenever I get a prophetic word from the Lord. So I pray in the Holy Ghost all the time, in the shower, while I'm cooking, while I'm driving, while I'm walking around. At any given moment, you might hear me bust out in my prayer language, okay? And I hear the Lord speak to me. Now, in the Single Woman's Prayer Book, I'm going to teach you about the 4 ways God can and will speak. So when I say I hear the Lord speak, right now I'm talking to you about the still small voice of God. So I hear the Lord speak, and when I hear him speak, I document it either by writing it down or by putting it in my phone. Now, sometimes when I'm on the go, I can't write it down. That's why I have a lot of words and notes from God in my phone. So I got a word of the Lord about moving to Atlanta way back in... Okay, so I lived in Atlanta in 2014 for 6 months. I got ran up out of here. I was mad because I loved it here. I didn't want to leave. In 2018, I got a word of the Lord in June of 2018 about moving to Atlanta. However, I wish I could show you my prayer book. It's over there. In my prayer book, the Lord had been talking to me about coming back to Atlanta since like... I want to say 2016, either 2015 or 2016, the Lord had been talking to me about coming back to Atlanta. And I finally moved back in 2018, but I just want to show you. It says my next move to Atlanta, and the date, June 8, 2018. So even though it seems to people, like my friends and my family, how you just gonna move out of nowhere? I'm like, y'all know I've been talking to y'all about Atlanta for years because the Lord has been talking to me about it for a couple of years, but it just took me a while to get to a place where I believe there was a few things that needed to be in order, and then also for me to step out in faith. 2019 was my year of making bold moves with God and really taking leaps of faith. Let me tell you about the first leap of faith. The first leap of faith came in January of 2018, right? We were coming right out of a fast. So last year we did the global quarterly fast in the month of December. And in the month of December, the Lord was talking to me about my business, my purpose, and what he wanted me to do. And he wanted me to write a book. Now, I've written 8. And at that point, I had already written, I think 5 or 6 books. But there was a book that he wanted me to write that I was very nervous about writing, and that was The Prophetic Woman. The Prophetic Woman is 100% about prophesying, stepping into your prophetic anointing, and things like that. The subtitle is Boldly Declaring the Word of the Lord. I was very nervous about writing that book because I am not an ordained minister. I'm not an ordained prophetess. I didn't have anyone telling me that it was okay for me to teach women of God how to prophesy, but I did have the Lord pushing me to write the book anyway. It ended up being my best written book only because I have footnotes in that book. I did a lot of research. It's more like a text, but it also looks cute to me. I designed it exactly the way I wanted it to be. Is how it came out. My other books, I would want it to be designed a certain way, but they wouldn't quite get the vision. And because I was up against a deadline, you know, a self-imposed publishing date, I just would go with it. But The Prophetic Woman was exactly my vision. The color was exactly the way that I saw it. The layout of it, the footnotes in it. I mean, it really took a lot for me to put that together because I wanted to make sure it was biblically sound while I was also giving you my own story of how I stepped into my own prophetic anointing over the last decade of my life. So the Lord was leading me to write that book. I was nervous to write the book. I didn't want to write the book. I did not think I was qualified to write it, but I wrote it anyway. That book ended up being the very first book that I sold out of pre-orders. Now, the last book that I published, which was the Proverbs 31 devotional, last month I sold out of pre-orders as well. But that was the first book. The Prophetic Woman was the first book that I sold out of pre-orders, which is saying something. Because if you can sell out of a book before you even... I didn't have a book to hold up to show no one. People were, you know, I couldn't flip through the book. It's a little bit different when people wait and say, oh, you can hold up the book and show it to them and flip through it. That's a little bit different than if somebody says, Sarita, I believe that you know what you're talking about. I believe this book is going to be good. And I'm going to go ahead and order it even before it's out yet because I trust you and I believe in you so much. That book sold out of pre-orders, but that was my very first leap of faith this year. Now, on the brink of me selling out that book, my business also was going up. Meaning my coaching programs were doing really well. The Lord told me to go ahead and start having my retreats. I had my very first retreat in 2019 in August. So I wrote the book in January, February, and I believe I published it in April. Sold out of pre-orders. April was my best month in business. April, May, June, the Lord told me, I need you to leave your day job, your 9 to 5. In October, he told me that in June. My business was doing so well that I was making more money than I was making at my 9 to 5, and I had a 6-figure 9 to 5. Business started doing well after I wrote the specific book that he had told me to write. Okay. Now, he also told me to start doing my retreats. I was like, Lord, I got to have a live event. Now, many people don't know what all goes into having a live event, but it's a lot. Okay. Because you got to book the space. You got to pay an event planner. You got to worry about AV. And then you got to make sure that you're selling tickets. Now, while I'm planning and ordering the gifts, I'm doing all of this stuff for this retreat. I'm still at my 9 to 5. I'm also a mother who has no help. So I have a toddler, and at the time he was only 2, and I'm not somebody who has help. And when I say I don't have help, I have to pay for somebody to help me with him. And I don't pay a lot for somebody to help me with him, quite honestly, because, you know, when you're working and running a business, you already don't spend a lot of time with him. So I wasn't trying to, you know, not see him through the week, except for when I'm putting him in the bed and then on the weekend, have some stranger watching him. So I was still, like, he's with me right now in the background. He was always with me in most of my videos. And I was working late at night. So that's why I have my coaching program start at 8:30, because they start after he goes to bed. That's why they're so late. A lot of people don't know why. That is why. I need to spend time with him. So by the time when I pick him up from school and we come home and he's eating dinner, you might see me do a couple emails and a couple of posts on Instagram. But I actually was working again late into the night. So I had my first live event, is what I wanted to say, in August. That was the second leap of faith that I took in 2019. Having a live event in Virginia Beach, Virginia, first of all, that is not a popular area to even have these types of women's events. Now, Atlanta is, which is why I believe now that I'm in Atlanta, my business is going to go through the roof, because this is where the women of God are who are doing things and excited about it. In Virginia, that wasn't the case. So in Virginia Beach, Virginia, it's a military town. People aren't like starting businesses. They are, but they're not successful. Everybody claiming that they're starting a business in Virginia, but nobody's actually making money. Everybody got like it's more like a side hustle. It's not really like a business. But in Atlanta, they're actually starting businesses, and they're transitioning. And again, single women and women of God, Christian women, things like that. So my audience and my client base is, there's a lot of women who want what I offer in Atlanta, but not in Virginia. So here's my point. The point is that the live event was in Virginia Beach. My client base was not even there. So I had to trust that the way I had my business set up, women were going to be willing to do what they did, which was fly in, get a hotel room, and come to my high-end event. Now, my retreats are not $100 or $500 because they're high-end retreats. The next retreat that's happening in Atlanta in April, go to loveandmiraclesretreat.com and you will see what I'm talking about. These are high-end retreats. So you're not just going to come to my retreat, you know, and see some little... I don't want to talk about nobody else's event. But what I will say is that when you come to my event, you're going to see things like flowers and diamonds. And then you're also going to be pampered as well. And you are going to receive. I think I showed y'all one of the gifts that I'm going to get for the people who come to the retreat in April. Is going to be luxury toilet paper. Only because I think it's so cute. There's like this 3-ply luxurious toilet paper. Got peaches on it. It's real cute. But my retreats are high-end, they're luxurious, and I want you to feel like the queen it is that you are when you come. I want you to connect with other queens as well. And anyway, so that's how my retreats are set up. And that was my second leap of faith, that I had my live event. Live event cost 5 figures to host. And I had a good amount of women show up, and the glory of God rests on that event. That event was so powerful and spiritually significant, not only for me but for the women that were there. The deliverance that took place, the prophecy that took place, the breakthrough that took place, it was so powerful. It was so good, y'all. I can't wait for the next one, and I loved every bit of it. So that was my second leap of faith, my live event, right? Now, retreats is on my vision board. I put retreats. Retreats was always something that was in my heart to do. You're going to have to stop, or you're going to have to get down. Do you want to get down? You're going to have to stop, okay? Are you going to listen? Because if you're not going to listen, you're not going to get no reward.
I do.
Okay. So be a good boy, please. Thank you. And keep eating. You need to finish eating. That's why you're acting like that. I wanted to say one more thing about the retreat. Just like the Prophetic Woman, I didn't feel qualified to have the retreat because it is a spirit-filled event. I pray, I prophesy. We focus on kingdom wife prep. We focus on life purpose. Those were the main focus points. Breaking relationship cycles, breaking soul ties, life purpose, activating and releasing spiritual gifts into the body of Christ. Again, I'm not an ordained person. I ain't got no title. So even though we still talk about love and relationships, that's why it's called Love and Miracles, of course. The whole point of the retreat is so that you can come in and you can hear from God about your single season and make sure that you clean it up so that nothing is preventing your husband from finding you. We also break relationship cycles, all that good stuff. So we do a lot of relationship and love work as well. But then we work on a purpose and calling, anointing, gifts, all of that. I'm in there laying hands and blessing everybody with anointing oil and all of that stuff like that. And again, I was like, Lord, you telling me to do all these things? Shouldn't I have somebody's permission? Like, shouldn't some bishop, some reverend, shouldn't somebody be like, Sarita, okay? As a matter of fact, I went to my church because, no, I had left the church. That's what happened. I had left the church. I think it was around that season that I had left the church because I was trying to serve in a ministry, and it was like impossible to connect with that. It was it's a weird story about this church I was at. But I know I went to the church because my business started taking off. And I was nervous because I was doing so much praying and prophesying and fasting and decreeing and declaring. And I didn't want to be out of order. So I went to the church. I asked the woman from the church to listen to the prayer calls from the fast. That's another thing. Because the fast take off. Every time I have a fast, I have hundreds. The first time I had a couple hundred. The second time I had the fast, I had like 1,000 women sign up. And then every subsequent fast that I've had, there are hundreds of women that sign up. If I advertise it, I have at least anywhere between 75 to 100 women per day that would sign up for the fast. And I was like, everything is blowing up, right? But it's so spiritually drenched that I was nervous. And I went to the lady at the church and said, listen to the fasting prayer call. I'm praying, I'm prophesying all the time, and I want to make sure I'm in line, I'm in order. She was like, I listened to it. It sounds okay to me. The stuff you're saying sounds okay. I'm like, all right. I'm trying to make sure that I'm covered properly. You know, things like that. I had my live event. I was nervous about that. Again, you know, if Juanita Bynum says that she's having an event to release spiritual gifts, you'll be like, okay, because she's prophetess Juanita Bynum. But Sarita A. Foster, if you're like, who is she? Who is she to tell somebody that she's releasing spiritual gifts? I'm just a woman that's called by God, and I'm trying to obey him. So when the Lord was telling me to do all of these things, these were all leaps of faith because I was nervous. But every time I did it, it ended up being so powerful and so blessed for you. Because it's all about you. It's not about me anyway. It's all about you. And the testimonies were coming in. My business was growing. He told me to leave my job in October. So follow my leaps of faith. Number one, I said yes to writing The Prophetic Woman in January. Wrote the book, sold out the book in April. Next, he was like, go ahead and start having these retreats. Retreats have been on my vision board for quite some time, but I thought it was going to be a while before I was able to actually do a retreat because it takes a lot. It's a lot of work and a lot of money, okay, to do an actual retreat. And if I'm going to put my name on anything, it's going to be high class, high-end, fancy. And I was like, Lord, I don't know if anyone would want to pay what they're going to have to pay because whatever, every seat at the retreat costs. And because it's high-end, for me to deliver high-end, it costs high-end money. So my retreats are not what pay my bills. So I want to put that out there too. When you buy a retreat ticket, that's not what actually pays my bills. The retreat tickets pay for the retreat. Now, I'll be saying something different this year, hopefully. But for right now, the retreat tickets pay for the retreat. So whatever you pay is actually how much it actually costs. I'm at 5-star locations with 5-star meals and chefs and all the decor. All of that stuff actually costs. Believe it or not. Because some people act like, you know what I mean, I charge for the retreat as if I'm putting it all in my pocket, as if all that stuff is free. None of that stuff is free. All that stuff actually costs. But that's the way that I want to deliver a powerful experience for women of God. I want us to experience luxury, high-end, 5-star situations. It is a crying shame that usually when you say anything is Christian, people automatically equate that with free or low budget. And that's sad. So I think that one of the things that the Lord wanted me to do, you know, is to create things that are Christian and it can still be high end. You could be flowing with the power of God and the blood of Christ, and it can still be high end. Everything ain't gonna be free. Now, salvation is, so is prayer. The fasting and prayer ministry is 100%. I'm working with this fasting and prayer. Is 100% free. This is ministry. Prayer is free. Salvation is free. But when you want to come have an experience and you want it to be high end and luxury, and as soon as I say Christian, people are like, well, how come you charging for this? Excuse me. This is high end. Do you see the diamonds and the glitter everywhere? This stuff ain't free. This stuff ain't free. So surely I can't give it to you for free just because it's Christian. And then if I was to take that out of it, it wouldn't be something I would do. I'm only going to do things that are God glorifying, even in my business. So you can take Christian completely out of it, and we would just talk about how to get a man. And what else? Because life purpose is 100% about calling and anointing and being a disciple of Christ. I cannot remove all of those things. Otherwise, I wouldn't be who I'm supposed to be. But if anyway, I don't need to do all this explaining, but I just wanted to put that on out. Just want to put it out there. So that was the second leap of faith, right? Second leap of faith was to have the high-end retreat. I did it. It was blessed. All the women were blessed. Testimonies were pouring out. The connections were divine. It was amazing. I experienced God like never before in ministering to you. I loved every bit of it. I realized that I want to do live events more frequently, and that is actually probably more of my lane than doing online coaching. So at some point, I would like to just do the live events and not even do the online coaching. So that's like one of my goals. Now, thirdly, be faith. That was in August. Remember, the Lord told me, Sarita, I need you to leave your day job. He told me this in June. We're in August. I am exhausted because I had a live event. I'm still doing my coaching programs. I'm still doing the fasting and prayer with you all. I'm still raising my toddler. I'm still taking care of my home. Right? I'm still trying to take care of myself as best as I can. I am worn out. I mean, to the bone. I'm exhausted. September, I barely made it. I'm talking about migraine headaches like every other day because I'm so tired, but I still am working. So by the time October came, I was nervous because here's the way the months went. September 30th was on a Friday. October 1st was on a Sunday. October 1st was on a Monday. October 2nd was on a Tuesday, right? And let me tell y'all why I know the dates. Because on that Friday, I was like, I need to give notice. And I needed to give 2 weeks. And I was with the government. So I was looking at the pay period, the 2-week calendar, right? And I said to myself, I'm going to give notice on... I was so nervous. I was like, I don't want to give notice if I'm not actually going to leave. I waited until the last day. I said, on September 30th, I kept hearing the Lord saying, October, you need to leave your job by October. And, okay, perfect. So, September, that Friday, I was like, I need to give notice, but I want to wait because I'm so nervous. I'm going to wait until Monday to give notice. And then when I give notice on Monday, that'll be my 2 weeks anyway, because the beginning of the pay period will have just started on that Sunday, and it will still be October. That's how I rationalized it. I said, I'm going to give notice on October 1st, and my last day will be on October 12th, is the way it was lined up. And I'm still leaving it, so I'm still obeying God. I went through that weekend. I was so nervous to give notice. Y'all, this is how your faith looks. I want to give y'all this little bit of information before I tell y'all what happened next. So the Lord had already told me that I'm going to be in business and I'm not going to be working my 9 to 5 until retirement. That was not my course. I had already wrote a resignation letter. The date on that resignation letter was in 2016. It was, I want to say it was June 2016, because when I wrote it, I was giving myself 2 years. The difference between your plans and God's plans, right? But I knew I was going to be resigning. And in 2014, I was like, I actually don't want to be with the government until retirement. I want to be up out of here. So by faith, this was my faith tool. Some of y'all hear me. Move it the other way. Move it the other way. Yep, back it up. Swing it across. There you go. Now push it. Now keep going. Some of y'all hear me teach about having faith tools. One of my faith tools was that I had written my resignation letter because I wanted to be able to write it and turn it in. So I wrote it, and it was dated June 2016 because I was trying to, my faith was that I could be able to resign in 2 years. Now, it took me, I think 4. No, it took me like 5 because I wrote it in 2014. It was dated 2016, but I didn't actually resign until 2019. So, yeah, it took me 5 years. But anyway, point is this. My faith tool, I had my resignation letter. Once I heard from the Lord, I pulled up that resignation letter, and I was like, man, I was supposed to turn this in 3 years ago. If I would have been obedient, because they were all connected. Right? Now you can see how everything is connected as you're making these leaps of faith with God. As you're obeying the Father, once you start to go down a path, you can see how everything is connected. The Lord was leading me to write books since I came to the Lord in 2010. I didn't write the first book until 2018. I was disobedient for 8 full-blown years. That's right. I had wrote a little small ebook It was called Single, Satisfied, and Loving It. And the Lord was like, girl, this little pamphlet, I need you to write an actual book. And I kept putting it off. I was trying to do live events. I tried to have my first live event in 2015. Failed miserably. This was not even a high-end event. This event that I was trying to have in 2015, I think I was only charging $300 or $400 because I thought you couldn't charge more than that. I think I was charging $300 or $400 for a one-day event. And not one person signed up, registered. I canceled it. I lost my money at the hotel and everything. Anyway, point is this. Okay, so I went back to my resignation letter, pulled it out. I'm looking at it September 30th. I'm like, October's around the corner. Wow, I can't believe this. I'm finally going to be able to turn in this resignation letter because at this point, like I said before, my business income have surpassed because of everything that I do in my business. Books, coaching, not retreat. Retreat only pays for the retreat. So retreat is not an income generator. Not yet. I keep saying that because I'm believing God that it will be an income generator. But for right now, books and coaching is what generates income, right? So my business income is doing really well. It has surpassed my 9-to-5 income, which is 6 figures I'm making with the government, because I have been with the government at this point for 18 years. October 1st gets here. I go to my supervisor and I give her my resignation. Actually, I emailed the resignation letter to my director and to my supervisor. Hold on. He want me to take a selfie on his little tablet here. Okay. So, I turn in my resignation by email. I hear nothing. I hear the Lord saying, Sarita, I want you to leave in October, not in the middle of October. I could sense an urgency in my spirit. Like, no, you're not supposed to work 2 weeks into the month of October. You're supposed to be gone by October 1st. And I was like, well, I'm giving them 2 weeks notice. I would just make a long story short. My supervisor made it so difficult for me. She was a new lady. She did not know me. She had only been working with the organization for about a month. She didn't know me. I'm going to keep saying that. She made it hard. She made it difficult. And we had a conversation, and she said something to me. She was trying to dictate all of this stuff. And I was like, if I'm giving you my resignation, then clearly I don't need to be here today. And I look her in her eyeball because I'm like, you saying all of this stuff like you're not even listening. I'm explaining to you how this could work for both of us because I'm not a junior employee. I've been with this organization now for 10 years. And I'm a mature adult. So I'm telling you that for the last 2 weeks, this is what my workload looks like. This is what I'm gonna accomplish. This is how I'm gonna train the person that's taking my place when I'm out of here. This is what I'm gonna pass down. And in the meantime, I had a whole exit plan, and I'm like, because I didn't know her. She didn't know me. But she was new to the organization. I had been at the organization, this particular one, for 5 years. So I'm like, I'm telling you how this is going to work in a good way to where I'm not leaving nobody high and dry. She was not trying to hear it. She's one of those women, and some of y'all might know women like this. Some women are in positions of authority and power, and they need everybody to know that they the boss because they're a woman. And it's like nobody is trying to diminish, take away, disregard. I'm just showing you. Because she was like, you've been planning this out. I have been, yes. Do you think I'm making a rash? There's no reason for me to quit. So obviously this is not a rash. I'm not quitting because I'm upset, because I'm mad, because nobody did nothing to me. I'm simply leaving because I'm making a career change. And of course, I've been planning it. What kind of stupid, I'm a single mother. What kind of choice? I'm like, yeah, I've been planning it. No, I wasn't planning it with you because it ain't your business. I'm giving you professional courtesy of 2 weeks. And during this 2 weeks, we can work together so that the transition can be smooth. It don't have to be like drama. And she was just giving me a hard time. And I left out of her office. I looked her in the eye. I said, lady, I don't need to be here today. Because she's trying to tell me this is your full-time job and we write your paycheck. I'm like, if I needed this check, do you think I would be giving you notice? I don't need to be here today. honestly, I don't need this check. If I needed it, why would I be? I'm looking at her like, seriously? You making this hard for me, but let me make it easy for you. Effective tomorrow will be my last day. I'll be coming in here, clearing, packing up my office. You won't see me no more. And that's what happened. So instead, even though I gave 2 weeks notice, I was supposed to be leaving on like October 12th. I ended up October 2nd because the Lord told me leave in October. So really, it was my fault. It wasn't her fault for giving me a hard time. It was my fault because I was trying to delay because I was nervous. I was trying to delay what God was telling me to do. And he was like, no, I told you October, because I was so tired and he wanted me to do more. That was the third leap of faith, right? So you got me. I wrote The Prophetic Woman. Nervous about writing it, but I did it. The book sold out. First high-end retreat. I thought I wasn't going to have retreats until like 2021 and beyond. He told me to do it in 2019 while I was still working a full-time job and raising my baby, and I did it. And it was extremely powerful and anointed. What? Okay, listen. I can't keep taking these selfies. This is the last one, William, because I'm busy. Hold on, let me get my light.
Push the camera.
I know what to do. Telling me to push the camera. I know how to take a selfie. Hold on. Hold on. Bossing around. Finish eating. That's what you need to do. Eat this food. The third leap of faith in 2019 for Sarita A. Foxworth was leaving my 9 to 5. Gave my notice. The lady started talking to me crazy. I don't know what gave her the gall or the audacity. But I said, tomorrow will be my last day. Let me make it easy for you. Because since apparently this transition plan that I have doesn't work for you and you want to talk to me like I need to be here for this last 2 weeks, I don't have to. No. Tomorrow will be my last day. Good riddance. Goodbye and God bless. So I quit my job in accordance with the word of the Lord. That's what God told me to do. Now, we're not even done yet. Okay, that was the third leap of faith. Left my job in October. I don't know if y'all remember. I did a video. I don't remember what the name of it was. But I remember that every time, and for whatever reason, this is how it always happened. I was always in my home. I had a 3-level townhouse in Virginia. It's on the market now. So if any of y'all want to buy a 3-level townhouse in Newport News, go and check out the MLS, okay, and make an offer. Anyway, so every time I would be upstairs brushing my baby's teeth, I would always get a vision. It's just weird. I don't know why. And I think it has to do with where God want me to raise him. Because I wouldn't get the vision nowhere else in the house. Only at night, when we were in his bathroom and I was brushing his teeth, I would get a vision of Atlanta. And I would see myself with him in a home in Atlanta. And it would be a new home, just like the one I'm sitting in now. It wasn't an older home. It wasn't an ugly home. It was a nice one. Then one time I had a vision while I was brushing his teeth of a clock. And I told y'all that it was Big Ben. And I felt like, I was like, Lord, why are you showing me a vision of a clock? That's Big Ben. Am I supposed to go to London? Do I just need to pray for London? So that's what I did. I started to intercede for London and then it left. But the visions of me taking care of him in this Atlanta house, every time I went to brush his teeth, never went away. So I started praying more about Atlanta. My next retreat is in Atlanta, by the way. So once I heard from the Father that my next retreat was to be in Atlanta, and I already knew he wanted me in Atlanta. There wasn't, but I think the clock was significant because he was showing me that it was time to go. And it was like a nagging, it was like I needed to go. Excuse me. Now, I tried to go to Atlanta early 2019. I reached out to all my contacts, which I normally, whenever I want to move from state to state, I just email somebody and I can bounce. Like, it's not hard. I reached out to all my contacts. Nothing was moving. So then I said, let me go the traditional route. Let me apply like everybody else and go on interviews because I can kill an interview, girl. Put me on the interview and I got the job. The first 15 minutes, I do well with interviews. So I was like, let me just go ahead and apply and just do these interviews and they're going to hire me anyway. I wouldn't even get called back for an interview. I'm like, hold on. All this experience I got, and I know I got a good reputation throughout the government, right? I got friends all over the country. I'm a likable person. Everybody like me. I'm professional. You know, I'm like, nobody's calling me back. I can't get an interview? Since when can I not get an interview? Nothing was moving. No doors were opening. I was like, okay, Lord, well, I'm trying to go to Atlanta. How come I can't go? You know why? Because it was important that I went on my own, I was going to say merits. Merits is not the word. On my own, just on my own. I don't know how to say it. So I'm here because when you work for yourself, you can live wherever you want and you can relocate whenever you decide. I was not bound to a job. I was not waiting for nobody to give me a yes. Just the same thing like the book and the retreat. I didn't have to wait for somebody to endorse me to say it was okay. All I had to do was obey my Father. God tells me to do something, just go do it. Don't wait for a man to say it's okay. I approve you. You're hired. I didn't have to wait on none of that. At this point, I quit my job in October. By November, it was still nagging. I knew I was about to leave soon. I didn't know when. At this point, I said, okay, God, now there's no reason for me to sit in Virginia. I'm not happy. I don't like the area. I'm from Virginia, but I had enough of it. You know, it's just nothing here. It felt like a dry land. I was blessed, but it felt like a dry land. It was just hard for me to do the things that I really wanted to do, and I was ready to go. And in my church. So the church it is that I started tithing and sowing into is in Atlanta. So I was like, I need to just get up out of here. And I was like, what is the holdup at this point? Money, right, is what I said. Money is the holdup. Money was not the holdup, because one thing that I have learned about the Father in heaven is that he provides in advance. So if he tells you to do something, you already have what you need, all the resources to make it happen. You just need to open up your eyes or ask God to help you to understand or transfer, which is what all I had to do. Transfer some money. Money was there. Money is not an issue, Sarita. Now what? What is your excuse? It was a job, but now you work for yourself. You said it was money. It's not money. You got a stack of money sitting over here that you can just do whatever you want with at any given point. So what is your excuse now? There's no excuse. So then I said, all right, I'm out, Lord. I'm about to leave. Then the same thing happened with my job. I was like, all right, am I going to leave now in December? Because it was November when I was going through all of this fasting and praying and all this stuff like that. December, I was like, all right, I got to move. Am I going to leave in December? Am I going to wait until after the holidays? Am I going to wait for the new year? And then it came down to, why would you wait? The only reason that I would wait for 2020 to move is because of family and being there with them. But you shouldn't make decisions. If God is telling you to do something, and I know family is not going to understand, but if God is going to tell you to do something, you cannot make a choice to obey God revolving around your family. Your family is not walking out a walk with Christ. Your family can hold you back. When I studied my Bible and I saw that when Jesus Christ was ministering to people and his mother and his brother were outside looking for him, he didn't drop what he was doing to run outside to see what his mama wanted. He continued to minister and said, who is my mother? Who is my brother? These people right here. Y'all that are with me are my family. Now, he wasn't rejecting his family. He was just simply saying, I got to take care of y'all. Y'all are here with me. They're not here with me. They're coming to distract. They're coming to pull me up out of here. They know I'm on a mission. Mary knew who her son was. They know I'm on assignment. And instead of them joining in this assignment, being a disciple or getting on board with this, they coming to pull me out because they want something. What do they want? They know I'm in here ministering. So, even though family is not always going to understand, they was not on board, I was like, you know what, whatever. I cannot live my life for y'all. The Lord has been telling me to go. Now there's no reason why I can't go. He has set me in a position. Because of all of these bold leaps of faith, the Lord has set me in a position to be able to move on my own accord. Whenever he says go, I'm able to pack up my baby and go. And now God is telling me to go now. Don't wait. Oh, I got more to tell y'all about that. My time is running out though. So I have to end this and I have to come back again. So I want y'all to come back and join me so I can finish wrapping this up. And then I want to tell you a couple of keys, takeaways that you can have so where you can start taking bold leaps of faith for the Lord as well. Yeah, and then I want to answer all your questions, okay? So I'm going to see y'all in just a second.